going for this bomb jump to the fire rod. This one doesn't save a whole lot of time, but...
Yeah, but it's not that hard of a trick, so it's definitely worth it.
It's pretty much the exact same as the hero bomb jump.
Pretty much. Once you get used to the timing, it's pretty easy to do.
So Parisian having Ether, he's also going to be able to use that to clear the mummies in the 4 torches room that ACM is about to go into. I also saw Parisian doing wow, that was really clean. Doing a safety strat in Torch's room that I didn't see ACM do. So ACM going into Mothula, going for the dash to start off the fight to try and I guess get a double hit. Okay, that was insanely fast.
Yeah, really clean fight.
Okay, never. I guess he didn't. I guess Parisian didn't do the safety strat. But there's a strat in the pit room where if you lift the left pot and you nudge it and hold upright, you will always walk around the pit 100% of the time. So I thought maybe he was going to do that. That was a really fast moth from Parisian as well.
That fight can be quite painful at double speed, so really nice fights.
Yeah, it's the only reason why I fear to take only 1 bottle compared to 2. Otherwise, the other bosses or the sections, you always have a lot of anti-fairies. And the other fights are quite decently okay to do. But yeah, Mothula is after Moldorm definitely the hardest fight of the game, so not even losing a fairy is pretty rare for me.
Yeah, but both of you had really good Mothula fights. Alright, so this is just the standard route from Quake to Flippers. And then they'll be taking the Whirlpool to Ice Palace after this. Now the bomb jump there is much more important than either of the ones they've done so far, and it's also, I mean, it's pretty infamous. It's a diagonal bomb jump, so it's going to be a bit trickier to set up. They'll still be able to do pretty well with it, using select buffers.
There's quite a few strats you can do for it. I know that ACM can do it bufferless. Parisian usually select buffer it. I personally use the hammer to buffer my position. So there's a lot of things that you can do.
I used to do it bufferless, but I was so mad at losing some runs to it that I decided to buffer it. It's slower, of course, but safer.
I used to stubbornly do bufferless hammer jump when that came out, and like years later, I just realized it was not good for consistency at all, even though I could do it. Alright, so ACMLM, decent way into the dungeon. Not doing the normal strat that you do, where you would bomb that. You try and bomb that switch on your way down as you're falling. So instead, you have to hit the switch in the conveyor room. It's a bit slower, but a bit easier. And he just gets Ice Palace bomb jump. He gets the setup like right away. There are pretty specific pixels that you have to stand on, depending on where you lay the bomb, and it's really not too bad. There's like a few different positions you can start on, and each of them gives you like 1 or 2 pixels.
The only issue being that Link moves twice as fast, and you have half the time to do it.
That's good. Yeah.
Alright, both first try. Alright, now we have Cold Stare, and half magic helps a lot here because the Fire Rod empties your magic bar, unfreezing the first phase normally. But Fire Rod shots do twice the damage of a Tempered Sword hit. So they make the cleanup much easier and much faster. They also let you hit the puffs from a range distance. Parisian going into his fight. Ooh. The beginning of that fight and the way that he cornered that first puff with the fire rod looked really good.
Yeah, NoReset it's really efficient. Usually I kill 2 of them and the last one is going out and I just kill him with one last fire rod shot, but I'd mess it up and so only one died and and the 2 others were not very well synced.
Just received another donation of $20 from M. Kalsler. Thank you, guy.
Okay, so now ACM is doing his shopping trip for Ice Rod and Ether. Parisian's already done that, so he's just going to go straight into Mire. So we can tell that he's for sure ahead. I think it's about like 10, 12 seconds. They're still very close.
I have no fairies though, so I have to grab a few.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so
Luckily, they are pretty much in the way in that dungeon, so...
yeah, there's a couple of bunny beams in here.
Yeah, there's everywhere.
And there's, in the basement, there are anti-fairies in the way for sure.
Just before the boss too, like... It's not a very hard dungeon to survive.
ACM struggling a bit with Wizrobe.
Wizards are probably one of the hardest rooms in this. At 2x at least. So I assume you guys are going to get the small key in the lobby rather than the spike room.
Oh no, on the spikes.
Okay. I guess. Oh yeah. I guess if you've got like so many anti-fairies to get,
Yeah.
then it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
I actually forgot about this one right on the way to the cane. Oh wow. Okay, I was not expecting Parisian to.
Well, we don't have the hook shot.
We don't have the hook shot. Okay, that is why. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's a bit stressful because we have to do that for that, but yeah, it works.
Right. I figured out what was going on there. Right after I said it. See, they don't have the hook shot here. They can't hook shot to that block easily.
We're not going for the spooky glitch, the new glitch discovered last year, to avoid going to that room. We didn't really take the time to try to learn it at double speed. Putting the cane with the dash should be quite hard though, so not free anyway.
Yeah, that's something that you have to do to manipulate what sprite slot it goes into to be able to do that glitch. That was a really clean Vitreous.
Yeah, only one cycle at this speed is really good.
I think that was pretty much just like really good execution of the regular strat that you would see in normal speed. But you can probably like, the thing is you can afford to err on the side of spinning more eyeballs because even if you take the extra heart damage from staying in the slime longer, if you're powdering the anti-fairy right before it, then it doesn't really matter. It's a good extra heart to lose.
ACM was so close to the 0 cycle fight. Sadly didn't have enough arrow for the second phase, but made up for it with the sword.
Just a quick reminder, we are closing, so we are soon ending this event tonight. So reminder, $75 donation goes directly for a giveaway of a MSI laptop. Donc tous les dons de 75$ vont pour un tirage d'un laptop MSI. Il nous reste à peine $200 pour battre le 5000. Ce serait vraiment cool si on serait capable de finir cette tranche-là. Donc on lâche pas tout le monde. Merci beaucoup.
Swamp Palace, in general, this dungeon likes to nickel and dime your health a lot. It doesn't have too many opportunities to powder anti-fairies that I can remember.
I don't think that there's any anti-fairies in there.
Yeah, there's no, I think. Usually you don't need it, but it's like in normal speed. It's not a dungeon where you're gonna die, but you're gonna lose a lot of time.
One thing that I noticed in some 2x speed gameplay in general is just that if a room starts to go poorly, it doesn't lose nearly as much time as it would in regular speed to just abandon your dashes and just walk around and try to dodge things.
Well, yeah, if it goes like a small mistake's not too bad. Like we don't usually get as mad as we would in normal speed, but it's hard sometimes to react when everything goes really wrong. Like to be aware of what's happening, to try to come back to calm down. It's a lot harder.
I think most of the rooms in here seem like they can go wrong to some degree, but usually they're okay. Argus, I think, isn't too special in this, just standard strats, not going for 0 cycle.
Yeah, usually it's hard to get a 1 cycle, so really most of the time you'll get 2 cycles. Yeah, so next is going to take the big bomb to get the golden sword and silver arrows. I'll be doing a trick where I'll leave the big bomb and getting back while the timer goes to 0 while I transition. I have a very cool setup that works at double speed, but that can be used also in 100% at normal speed. It's really safe, so I really recommend like people who have difficulties with it to use it.
I don't know if I've seen this setup before, but yeah. So I think the way it works is if you leave the screen, like if you leave the bomb behind and you leave the screen on or mirror on the first 14 frames that the timer says 0, then you get the bomb to respawn behind you.
I was not aware of the numbers, like I didn't know it was 14 frames.
I was told that pretty recently, but yeah, 14 frames would be like 7 in 2x, but also you'd have different reaction time. So the setup definitely helps a lot.
We just received a donation of $75 from Tweak1987 that says, "Good luck to both runners for this amazing race. Special thanks to ACMLM for cheering in the crowd all weekend. You're the best, dude. Thanks to NoReset crew for letting us show our skills, or not, again this year and support the awesome event for a super great cause." Thank you very much.
There are plenty of anti-fairies also in T-Rock, so I'm not going to take the one before T-Rock and take them in the dungeon. If I lose the fairy, it's not too bad.
ACMLM's taking it to at least not to catch it, but just walking into it manually for now. So he's at full going in, but yeah, there's quite a few in T-Rock. But there is one interesting mechanic that they've been using for some of the overworld bonk fairies. If you do an item dash with the net, then you'll pretty much automatically get the fairy captured in the net.
It's very useful at that speed because catching a fairy at this speed kind of sucks.
Yeah, and sometimes it can just run into you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, his chomp's not going well. It wasn't the worst. I think ACMLM's chomps is going similarly. Oh, it's just really tough to get to. If the chomps are hanging around right there, it's tough to get that window to. Yikes.
Pokies are quite tough, so most of the time we're going to use the fire rod to kill them.
I see. That's so yeah, ACMLM coming on the 4 anti-fairies here. It's going to be a really good resource for him, having lost a fairy and then being at 3 hearts. Yeah, for the Pokies, if you're not fire rodding them, you need at least 2 hits in on them. So that's either 2 gold sword slashes or 2 tempered spins. And just the one shot is much safer for 2x speed.
They can afford it since they have half magic anyway. So.
And we received another donation of $80 from Dom Doughty. Ah ouais, donc, une autre chance de plus pour le portable. Vraiment super cette race. The link to the past ×2 speed, boys. GG à everybody impliqué de près ou de loin dans le NoReset. We are so close to 5,000, guys. 43 piastres.
All right, so Parisian just did a trick called laser skip. We're using a dash. ACLM is actually going to do this without a dash. Which I think is easier for him, personally, the way he prefers to do it, but it's still really impressive. It's really impressive at all to do that trick, even at normal speed, without a dash. The dash kind of lines you up, or if you time it well. I'm not sure how to explain this. But if you just time the start of the dash well, in relation to the laser, it'll just get you past it.
Already only Ganon's tower left.
Yeah, it's going much better than in practice. I had a huge D-rust, and even in practice I never had better than a 56.30. And I'm currently at 54 pace, so I'm really happy.
Still both very close to each other. But yeah, like the main thing for laser skip is that only the front of the laser has the active hitbox. So you can kind of walk through where the tail is visually. And you'll still be fine. Also, I see that's one difference from normal speed is you bonk and you get that key on that torch here. So I would have to guess that you skip the key upstairs.
I don't know how that works. Yeah, we're skipping the key upstairs. They are much harder to get, so safety over speed most of the time for double speed.
It's a very small difference to to get that key over the one upstairs. Actually, what's kind of funny is that the all dungeons glitched runs get that torch key instead of the upstairs key as well. And the reason being for that is because those routes fight Aghanim 1 after doing Ganon's Tower. So they get refilled on magic for the Ganon fight that way. So they don't need to pick up the magic pot that's at the end of the key room. So they can get this one instead. But it is just really small differences. Ice Armos is going to be pretty easy to clean up with 6 silver arrows, especially staying still for the last one.
Considering how close it is, I'm going to try to play a bit risky and to skip the red mail. I've done that a couple times, so...
This is going to be exciting. Yeah, Parisian mentioned he might do this, kind of depending on how this was going. ACM is getting a red mail. In general, red mail, on average, it cuts damage from things in half, but it's not like it's not a hard rule. Each enemy actually has a set different amount of damage they do to each mail, but it tends to be around half.
Yeah, not from spikes, not from holes.
Yeah, spikes and holes. Most of the traps still do full heart of damage. Kodongos also do a full heart of damage with any mail, which is kind of weird since they're a fairly regular enemy. Parisian cleaning up a lot of these rooms with Ether. ACMLM not using it so far. I think his strategy is just not to use it and to just do the normal speed strats.
Et on vient de recevoir un autre 50$ qui fait franchir la barre des 5000 de la... Le don est de Max Beaulieu qui dit « Ben, rien, je vais le dire sur le mic direct, là. »
They're maybe around one flourish apart, it looks like.
En passant, tu sais que le gars se prend pas pour de la merde quand il lit sa propre donation.
I just realized I had no fairies, so I went with. I thought at least I had one fairy with my red mail, without my red mail, sorry. So that was pretty risky what I did.
Wow, this sync is amazing.
So close.
Okay, now his geometry. Aghanim 2 is very difficult to go fast.
This is pretty tough to do well even in normal speed.
Wow.
It's all coming down to Ganon now.
It's crazy.
All right,
I'm probably gonna lose a fairy, but...
Alright, so Ganon is 6 slashes for each of the first and second phases with the gold sword. It would be 12 with the tempered sword, which would be pretty much... it'd be pretty impossible to get that strat properly at 2x speed. The main danger here is if there's like a stray bat from phase 3 or something that would cause one of them to fall. ACMLM in phase 4 already. All he has to do is get silver hits in. Parisian unfortunately takes a fall. ACM was trying to set up for a double on the first hit, but was just too slow in firing the arrow, and that's that. All right, and ACM is our winner at about 55,
It's 55,
17,
15, I think.
17 or so. That came right down to the wire at the end. Congratulations.
Whoa, nice fight. Oops.
Oh.
Oops. Oola.
That would have been it.
What the heck?
I feel like you have to be really, really selective about the cycles you go for here. Also, it looks like you're getting a lot of silverless hits in.
Yeah, I panicked during the fight because I know it was very close, so that's where I missed a few arrows on the first fight. So yeah, GG ACM.
That was a great race, guys.
Yeah, very happy overall of my run despite that Ganon, because as I said, the Duras didn't go very well, and that run was very decent compared to the level I had when I was grinding that category very hard about 2 years ago. So
Yeah, well, like we got to see a lot of different stuff too, and them still ended up very close despite that. So Parisian had the Eastern. Parisian had the Eastern big key trick. ACM had Etherless Gauntlet, Etherless Skullwoods. Yeah, I don't know. That's I think it's a great way to wrap up the event too.
yeah, thank you very much again, NoReset, for taking some of my runs every time. So and hopefully next time. And to our commentators too, because yeah, Esder was not supposed to be here before. He said I didn't take my tickets yet, so he stayed here mostly for this late to commentate that race. And like Lord Stingmack has always been here when I needed him for double speed, a relay organized. I was lacking some runners, like some runners deciding to stop and was like, I need you here. And I was like, okay, I didn't want really to play in a relay, but I see you need help, so I'm going to play for you. So thank him again for that and for commentating the race here.
Welcome.
I haven't done 2x commentary before, so it was like actually really really difficult to keep up with what was going on. I'm glad that you were able to fill in for some of it, even though you're also playing, which is like insane. But there's like a lot of little things that probably only you guys know.
Well, yeah, some of the strats, the difference between all the safe strats, because usually in normal speed we know a lot the optimal, much optimal strats, and here we have to find more ways, very unknown strats that are doable. For example, you'll never see at Cold Stare, you won't see the poke dashes and then the 2 double spin in the corner, because that's not likely going to happen. So you know that you're going to take a route and a strat that's going to be used your half magic there. A lot of stuff like this.
Do you think he'd ever drop half magic?
We thought about it a few times with ACM, but the question is what happened then, and mostly in Ice Palace, but in a couple places, maybe like our fire rod shots in T-Rock, maybe Trinex then becomes very stressful because you cannot miss that few hits. And maybe like for me, because I use a lot of ether in Gauntlet, then maybe it becomes very, very different. So there would be a lot of stuff to reconsider then if we or I had to drop half magic. But
yeah, I guess it would turn out differently for both of you based on the stuff that you do.
But hey, I mean, it is a race. And if that wasn't some top-level shit right there, I don't know what is. Let's hear it once again for both our runners. Let's go. Like, honestly, the butt clench was real. It was amazing. That finale, wow.
Also, if you look at the screen, it's technically deathless.
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, it counts game overs and 7 quits, so we use fairies, but we never game over. And of course, since no 7 quit category, we didn't do that.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for closing this event, which has been a phenomenal marathon. Let's just hear it out for all the runners right now, because you guys are the lifeblood of this event. No runners, no event. All right, so we're going to get ready to do the raffle for the laptop. So basically, once we come back, we're going to go for a quick break. If you want to get in those last-second donations to try and snipe the laptop, now's the time, because in about 5 minutes' time, we will close the entries, and we will actually do the raffle and proceed with our traditional post-show and get this over with. So stay tuned. We will be right back.